bit about yourself, and then we have some questions to get ourselves ready for.
Okay, I'm Kate Long. I'm the Helpline Director. I run the Crisis Line and I run the Senior Link program. I've been with ACTS for 3 years now, and I've been the director for a little over 2 years.
Awesome. So I think one of the big questions is what is Senior Link, and why did you guys start?
Senior Link, we run from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day, holidays, weekends. And with the social call, it's a medication reminder. So some folks on the list just want the medication reminder, some want the social call, but most of the time they want both. And the reason they started is because, as I mentioned, I run a crisis line. So we mostly deal with suicide prevention. Of course, any type of crisis is a crisis, could have something to do with something other than suicide, but primarily it's related to suicide prevention. And in Virginia, we're actually higher than the national average of elders that complete suicide. In fact, folks that are 85 and above make up the second highest group that complete suicide.
Wow.
So that's the reason that we started the line, is so they wouldn't feel isolated and alone, because those two elements could combine into someone taking their life.
So the senior part is one of the services that ACTS offers. Okay, and so and you're responsible for that.
Yes.
And this is how often do these people receive the services?
It's really up to the people that want the service. Some people want monthly, some people weekly, just weekdays, just weekends, every other day. But for the most part, people want daily calls. The highest amount that we do is twice a day, because we can't call every hour or anything like that, but we can give a morning call and an evening call if they would like.
And do you speak to those seniors on the crisis line?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
And I said, do you speak with the seniors on the service line?
Do I speak to them on the crisis line?
Crisis line, yes.
Yes, it could be one of two ways. We could either call out as an outbound call for that specific time of day. Mm-hmm. So if they want to be called at 11 o'clock, we can go ahead and call them at 11. But if at 9 o'clock they're having a really difficult morning for one reason or another, they can always call us. They can call into the line at 703-368-4141, and either way, someone will answer the call. So they don't have to wait for their assigned specific time if they're really struggling with something. And sometimes that happens, like maybe they were expecting an aide to come out that day and spend time with them, and the aide had to reschedule, and they're just feeling alone in that moment. So we can help take up some of that space and let them know that they're not alone. We're here.
Great.
It's wonderful.
I don't know what's going on with my speaker. I think that's great that it goes both ways. You can call them or they can call you.
Yes,
awesome.
And often it does go both ways in a day. Sometimes they want to call in the morning, and then later on in the evening, they're like, you know what, I still need to talk, and that's okay. That's what we're there for.
Awesome.
So have you seen, a change, to the services or to Senior Link because of, COVID-19 and all of that we've been going through for the last, I guess it's been 4 months or so with the pandemic? Yeah.
It has been, yes. Well, as I said, I've been there 3 years, but since March to now, our list has doubled. So there's been definitely a need for service. We've had more volunteers recently, which has been wonderful. And I jotted down a number. In May, we made 1,162 calls. So that's just the calls that we're calling in to them, not when they call to us. I don't know how big the amount is combined, like for outbound and receiving calls, but that was just in May. I haven't done the numbers yet for June, but I promise it's bigger than that. And then in July, I have more seniors that I need to add to the list, which means in July, the numbers will be even higher than the 1,162. So yes, a lot more folks to call.
And, has there been any unusual requests,
I only had one unusual request. When COVID-19 first started, I had someone who was especially concerned for safety because of living alone and things like that. And so she requested to receive calls twice a day. And she said, if I don't answer one or the other, either the morning call or the evening, here's my address. Please send the non-emergency police out to my house to make sure I'm okay. I have no family, I have no friends, I have no one that will check on me, and I don't want to be alone if I pass away, and no one would know. So that's very unusual, but we were happy to accommodate and let them know, yes, absolutely, we will keep your address so everybody can see, and we'll make that call. And now she's decided she feels a little bit more comfortable with everything going on, so we took her address down. She no longer wants that service, but for a couple months, we were making those calls twice a day just to say, you okay? Are we good?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's so good to know about. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does ACTS provide other services to seniors?
Yes, that's in a different department. That's with the Hunger Prevention Center. And I jotted some stuff down since it's not my department. All right. All right, so the Hunger Prevention Center serves mostly Prince William County and Manassas. They provided 850 families with food last month, which is 70,000 pounds of food. But they also have the home delivery program that focuses on the elderly. That service is on the first 3 Thursdays of the month, so they can physically bring it to those seniors 3 times a month. And they have 200 direct deliveries that go straight to shut-in seniors.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
These are some great services that are definitely more in need. It's a great thing that you guys were the chosen ones for the fundraiser this year, right?
So
Yeah.
excited.
So I guess that is the question, where would the funding, go towards, but, as part of the fundraiser?
Right. Unfortunately, I'm losing some volunteers because people are going back to work. So I had 19 volunteers trained for Senior Link, but now, like I said, they're filling up their hours with work time and less volunteer time. So I need more volunteers. So it's $25 to train a Senior Link volunteer. So some of the funding would go towards training, and then long-term goal, because everybody has to shoot for the stars, I would really love to have a staff member specific to Senior Link, not the crisis line, but Senior Link. But for the most part, funding would go towards making sure I have additional volunteers for the time being.
Are there, that's great to share to the group here about volunteers. Is there any other ways we could support? No, you just answered that question, didn't you?
I guess I combined the two. Yes, I combined it. But
That's
just
good. That's good.
if someone wanted to volunteer, they don't have to come into the office. We do everything remote right now, which is very different, but I actually really like it. So people could use their personal cell phone, but they have our app. And once on our app, it would look like it was coming from us, not from their cell phone, because we have to protect confidentiality in both ways. So
That's great. That'll give people, volunteers, a piece that they're not reaching out to them directly.
exactly. That way their personal cell phone never shows. That way the seniors wouldn't be calling them back directly. The number that shows is still our number, so they'd still be calling us back.
That's great. Does anybody have any questions? This wasn't something for Kate about ACTS or any from the members, the attendees.
Yeah, we've got Barbara Stolman has her hand raised, so I am going to bring her on.
Okay.
Barbara?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wonderful. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us. Could we, any of us that would want to volunteer, is there a telephone number or a contact number or person that we could call?
Yes, the number, if you're ready. Are you ready for the number?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, you can go to 703-368-4141 at any time, because the crisis line is 24/7, so you can always let them know that you're interested in becoming a volunteer. But just so you know, any volunteers would come to me anyway. So if you want to email me directly, that's fine too. My email is klong, L-O-N-G, @axpwc.org. Either way is fine. There's no wrong way. Email me, let me know you want to be a volunteer, and I can let you know how that process goes. Or you can call into the crisis line. Either way.
Great. Thanks so much.
No
Great.
problem.
Appreciate all you
And-
do.
Are there any requirements to be a volunteer?
You definitely have to be a good listener. So once you're in the training, I would test your listening skills. So if you're constantly talking over, or if you're trying to make up a lot of the conversation, that's a problem. But most of the time through training, we can make it work. Whether you need more training than others is fine, but for the most part, as long as you have a cell phone and you're willing to do it, I can train.
An age requirement?
Usually just 17 and above, but for the most part, 18.
18, okay.
There was one specific time that someone in high school, her senior year, wanted to do this, and we don't allow her on the crisis line, but we let her do the Senior Link program.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Kate, for answering all of our questions.
problem.
And of course, we'll be working together when the fundraiser is right around the corner. So I think Rachel's gonna have Sophia talk about that.
Great. So let me bring Sophia on.
Yeah, so Sophia's going to just talk a little bit about what the fundraiser looks like now that we know, have an idea of where some of the monies will go. Thanks, Kate.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good
Okay,
morning.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I tell you what, just hearing from Kate, I'm even more excited about our opportunity to really have an impact with ACTS. If those that know ACTS know that they have multiple programs, but the fact that these two programs are so vital to the environment that we're living in today and our seniors, it's just fate that we were designed to help out at this time, okay? And we are I'm excited about what we're gonna be able to do and the impact we're gonna have. So this is how we're gonna do it. If you were familiar in the past with the fundraisers that we've had, of course, they've been in person. This year, we won't be doing that. We'll be doing everything virtually. But we're still gonna have a good time and we're still gonna be impactful with everyone's cooperation, okay? So the date for this event is September 9th from 5:30 to 6:30. Everybody jot that down because we need you all to participate September 9th, 5:30 to 6:30. We, of course, will be Zooming, so wherever you feel comfortable, join us. It is our 5th happy hour with a purpose, first virtual, but our 5th one. So we have done this before. It's going to be a little different, but we're going to have a good time. And again, the goal is to raise money for these great programs that were just detailed, okay? There's 5 ways that we're able to do that, okay? One is ticket registration. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Bingo, you know, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna play some bingo. It's gonna be a little unusual bingo, so you have to pop in to see what we're gonna do with that. In lieu of the basket raffles that we typically do, we're going to do gift card raffles. It's of course much safer in this COVID environment, but it's still a prize at the end. So we're going to do gift card raffles, and of course, the other way to make a difference is a donation. You know, asking everyone to kind of donate. So let's talk about the registration, the event registration to begin with. Registration is required to attend our happy hour event. Okay, so you will need to register. You will be getting an invite from Ebright. You'll get an invite which will give you information on how to register. It will link you to the site for registration. So please keep an eye out for the invite. It will be coming very soon and registration will start. What's different this year is there is a registration deadline. Last year, you could come and you could purchase tickets at any time up until the day of the event, but this time we will have a cutoff date. So the firm registration deadline is September 1st, okay? You need to register by September 1st. That is a firm registration date. The only transaction that will be allowed the day of the event will be just the donation. Everything else needs to be done prior to the event. So September 1st is the date that we're looking at, okay? So how do we do this? There are actually 3 registration levels this year, okay? Our entry level is our love level, okay? And what you get for that is it's a $10 fee. You'll get 1 bingo card and 1 raffle drawing, okay? For that $10 entry fee for our love, because we always start with love, and then we build from there on. The second level is unity, okay? Because together we can make this happen. We need everyone's participation. So at the unity level, which is $15, okay, you will get 2 bingo cards and 3 raffle drawings, okay? Unity, 2 bingo cards, 3 raffle drawings. And the third level, which I hope to see a lot of people participate at, is the impact level. This is where we can really make an impact on the lives of so many in our community. And at the impact level, which is $20, you will get 3 bingo cards and 5 raffle drawings, okay? Again, you need to register, look out for an invitation. We'll take you to the site to register, you purchase your tickets, and then you are good to go, okay? And there will be opportunity to get additional raffle drawings and bingo cards if you would like to, all right? All right, so let's talk a little bit about the bingo. As I said, we are having a good time trying to plan some fun and unusual bingo games. We all work with seniors. We know bingo is huge, but if you've ever played it, it's kind of fun. So we're really looking forward to an exciting bingo game. We are asking for gift card donations for the bingo prize. So if you win the bingo game, you'll get a prize. Prize is going to be the gift cards, and we're asking for donations for that. There's also a very exciting opportunity if your company wanted to occupy the free space of the bingo cards, okay? So you have a bingo card, free space in the middle, and we're giving folks an opportunity to sponsor that if they would like, okay? The sponsorship for the free space card is going to be open to anyone that wants to bid. The highest bidder will get the free space on all the bingo cards. Currently, we have a bidder that is at $250. So if you would like to top that, there's an opportunity for your name to be on the bingo cards, okay? If you want any information about bingo, donating gift cards, or if you're interested in being in the free space, there's 2 contacts that you need to know. One is Melanie Shoemate, and if you check in the chat bar, her contact information will be there. You can reach out to her if you'd like to just donate gift cards. If you would like information about being the free space on the bingo cards, the contact is going to be Barbara Stolman. And again, look in the chat, their contact information will be there, okay? So that's about the bingo cards. Now, the part that I'm excited about is just donations, okay? Donations are encouraged, they're appreciated, they're welcomed, and we hope that you will have an opportunity not to just donate, but to talk to anyone and everyone about the ways that they can donate. You have a contact with a company, an organization, you can tell them about what we're doing and see if they'd be willing to donate, okay? Monetary donations, always accepted. If you're not able to attend, you can still make a donation, okay? Food donation. One of the programs that ACTS talked about was their food delivery program, okay, and their food pantry. If you have an opportunity to donate some non-perishable food items, we know that they will benefit from that, because we know everyone is benefiting from the food insecurity that our seniors are, the whole world, but definitely our seniors are having. So food donations. If you would like, there are 2 locations that you can drop off food, non-perishable food items. One is at Arbor Terrace in Manassas. And again, if someone would just put the address in the chat so people know that. Or if you're in the Haymarket, Warrenton area, you could make those drop-offs at the Villa at Sutfield Meadows. And again, we'll put that address and information in the chat. If for some reason those 2 locations do not work out for you, give me a call, Sophia Cameron, and I'll put my number in the chat, but it's 540-878-3790. Give me a call and I will see what I can do to collect those canned goods, because again, we really want to impact the services that ACTS have, okay? So 3 locations or 3 options. If you're in Manassas and that Manassas Woodbridge area, Arbor Terrace. If you're closer to Warrenton, the Villa. If that doesn't work out for you, give me a call and we'll see what we can do, okay? And as Kate talked about, volunteering with ACTS directly. If you didn't write down her number, I certainly did. It's 703-368-4141 to reach out to her, or her email, klong@pacs.org. They are definitely in need of volunteers. If you have time, and we all talk with seniors all the time, so we could probably be a great impact and benefit for this organization, okay? So kind of wrapping up, the things that we really are looking forward to and need your help with is just to share this information with everyone and anybody, okay? We want people to attend because we think that this is going to be a great opportunity for us to do something different and, and still have a good time and be impactful. But we really want to raise the funds for this amazing group and these 2 specific programs, okay? Again, if you have business contacts, please reach out to them or share the information with us and we'll reach out to them, because we want an opportunity to share with them exactly what we're doing this year. And we know that once we do that, folks will want to participate, okay? Again, the gift cards, the gift card and raffle donations, Melanie Shoemate is your contact. Please consider donating a gift card. We're looking for gift cards at a minimum of like $25, donation. When you're thinking about gift cards, it could be any type of gift cards, but keep COVID in mind. Don't get a spa gift card, because chances are we're not going to be able to use that. But there's no restrictions. Any gift card you'd like to donate is good. Again, a minimum $25 in value. And most important, check your email, check your spam, look for information coming from us. This has been a lot of information I'm giving you today, but I promise it will be sent out in an email. We'll give you updates as we go along. Our goal is really to have a great program and to support ACTS in these 2 programs in particular. Okay.
Thank you, Sophia.
Yeah, and I don't want to delay, because I'm really excited to hear the program that you guys have today. But Karen Vassar has a question. Outside of the PWSRG members, who will be invited to the happy hour with a purpose call?
So thank you, Karen, for asking that question, because I did want to say, in years past, we had to be careful due to the liquor license and occupant, like how many people we could fit in the building. But that's not an issue this year, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just members of the group. So friend or neighbor who wants to play bingo and participate, we're all about it. And support ACTS, as well as we will post things on our Facebook page, and Sophia mentioned send out an email I know this was a lot of information all at once, but we'll definitely get it out to you in writing. Were there any other?
Nope, that's it.
Again, I just want to remind everyone there is a firm deadline for the registration. Oh, and you know what? Here's the thing. I forgot to tell you. Can I go back to the can I go back to the sponsorship for the free bingo, for the free space? Okay, so we are taking bidders. Let me see, we have a date for that. We are taking the highest bidder for the free space, but your bids must be received by August 10th. So we can make an announcement on August 12th, which would be our monthly resource group meeting, who the winners are. Okay, so for the free space sponsorship, if you're interested, you're going to reach out to Barbara Stolman. Okay, you must do that by August 10th, and we will make an announcement on August 12th who would be selected for the free bingo space. Okay, is there anything else I forgot, committee members?
I don't think so. That was great. Thank you so much, Sophia, for laying it out like that. Very, very awesome and appreciated. So I think without further ado, we're going to introduce Joe. Joe? Are you out there, Joe? There she is. Hey, Joe.
Morning. How you guys doing?
Did you think you were ever going to have a turn?
That's okay. I don't like speaking anyway, so this is going to be challenging, especially when I can't see. I can only see a couple of you guys. So.
I know.
Right.
Well, we're smiling faces and happy to have you.
So, Joe, good morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, let me hang on one second because I think I can share my screen, right?
Yep, you can.
Hold on, let me pop that up there. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Looks good.
All right, well, as far as telling a little bit about it, I could go through all the details. As far as I was a Navy brat, I was in the Navy. I started a business in 2008. I'm a certified aging in place specialist, but I always find that it's more fun to share some fun facts. So I'm going to do that instead. So some fun facts about Joe, or otherwise known as stupid things Joe has done, is I was on the very first all-Navy women's soccer team. That tells my age a little bit, but that was a long time ago. Other things I've done is was able to ski down a live volcano. So not many people can say that they watched the volcano erupt and then they skied down. It wasn't the best skiing because the snow was very black because of all the ash. And of course, being stupid, we did try to drive as far up as we could to see all the lava coming down. So that was kind of a dumb thing, but again, something about Joe. And the last thing that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever done is on detachment in the Navy over in Saudi Arabia years and years ago. I was an aircraft maintenance officer, and instead of, while the planes were up flying, we didn't have too much to do because our job was to fix them when they came back. So we decided to go look for scorpions in the desert, and we didn't find any scorpions, but we did find a deadly snake. And I won't go into the details how we caught him, but when I brought the live snake in a water bottle into the fire chief, who was the liaison, and showed it to him, he about jumped out the window. So probably not the smartest thing to do. But anyway, so those are a few fun facts about me. So hopefully that works. So now you guys know who's going to do the talking and that I'm a little crazy. So
And you're a little bit of a thrill seeker, it seems, which is an interesting take. I don't know I would have picked that.
You know.
So Joe, we're so happy to have you here today. I think that this topic is so important in these times with people home alone, seniors, so much more, and less people able to check on them possibly. So tell us a little bit about what is aging in place.
Well, aging in place, as you guys all know, the definition of aging in place is the ability to live in one's own home safely, independently, and comfortably, regardless of your age, your income, or your ability level. But what I usually like to say is aging in place for me is just a way to add amenities to your home that make it more comfortable and safer. So, you know, whether, as we all know, seniors, as we age, we go through a period of challenges. So whether it's lack of mobility, lack of visibility, or just or hearing, those kind of things, there are things you can do in your home to make it safer and easier to get around.
Okay. Awesome. So you know, I know that kind of Rachel touched on this about like, you know, why is aging in place important during these times of COVID? Do you have any more specific information on that? I know
Sure.
that seniors, of course, are more alone and.
Yes. And I think the talk with Axe right before this was a perfect segue because, as you guys know, because of COVID, people are having a harder time in their homes because there are fewer people in the homes with the seniors and helping them out. So some of the things that are happening is they're trying to do a lot more with a lot less, and it's just them doing the work. So again, I always like to say the things that we're doing because of COVID is we're really trying to focus on stability, things we can do to help them, you know, when they have a lack of balance or don't have balance or just are having a little bit of hard time getting around. Accessibility, that goes into just not having the ability, whether you're in a walker or a wheelchair, have arthritis, those kind of things. So again, these are just issues with COVID that, again, people are not there to help them. Visibility, again, these are the couple of things that we do with again, knowing that COVID is here. We focus on visibility. What kind of things do people have challenges with, whether it's depth perception or they just have a hard time seeing just because their eyesight's going. And then safety, there's certain things that you can do around the home just to make it safer for somebody that has some challenges and are trying to do things on their own that they can't do anymore.
Joe, are there some specific things that you could share with us that you guys are doing to help?
Absolutely, glad you asked. So just, I've always found that it's easier to just show pictures, so I hope you don't mind, but when it comes to stability, everybody thinks of grab bars and chair lifts and that kind of stuff. But as probably everybody on this call already knows, 50% of accidental deaths at home are due to falls. And most of the falls occur when you're on the same level. It's not because you're falling down the stairs, although we can help you with stairs, but it's usually just because you're either tripping over a throw rug or something like that. And as most of you guys know, once you have to replace a hip or do some of that stuff, the rest of your health starts degrading. So some of the stuff that we do, again, with stability is just putting in a grab bar. So in some of these pictures, you can see we put a grab bar on, there was a step that went up to the platform on the top right picture. And it's just easier if you grab something, you can get up there. Another thing people don't think about is if you go up most staircases, there's only one handrail. And for seniors or for the people that, we're focusing on, a lot of them have, well, we all have a dominant side, either our right hand or left hand dominant. But in some cases, the seniors that have had strokes or have a weakness in one side, the handrail, if it's on one side, is great until they're trying to come down the stairs and the handrail's on the wrong side. So just installing a second handrail makes a world of difference. Some of the other things are just a comfort height toilet. The fact that you can buy a toilet and that's a few inches higher, it makes a world of difference when you're trying to get up and down on the toilet. And some of the other things for stability is just putting a bench seat in the shower. So you're not standing in the shower the whole time. It's a lot easier to balance and that kind of stuff. And in this picture, there's also a handheld shower. So again, you can sit or stand or lean or whatever, and you can use the handheld shower. And then just other stuff when it comes to stability is rails. In this case on the right, this happened to be a picture when we did a National Day of Service a year or so ago for a veteran, and they did not want ramps or any of that stuff. So we just put a whole bunch of, we actually rebuilt the front porch because theirs was falling apart, and we just put a bunch of handrails so they can get up and down their front porch and enjoy it. So, so that's where it is on stability. Accessibility. what I always say with accessibility is just thinking of how do you access things. So in this case, it's a garage ramp. It's a very simple ramp. You can buy ramps, you can install them. We did that again, another National Day of Service where we helped the veteran out. We installed a ramp in a garage just to get, the lady had Lou Gehrig's disease, I believe, just to get her up the 2 stairs into the house. Door levers, we all think it's easy to turn a doorknob, but if you have arthritis, it's a lot harder to turn that doorknob. So you can just replace those things with levers. And then again, a handheld faucet, just something to be able to have the ability to access things. Some of these, I know, Rachel, you and I talked about this earlier. Some of these are just some cool things that people don't realize you can do. Pull-out shelving, some of those just, I know, it's fun, it's great. But, a lot of us, are so used to trying to find that cabinet or that pan in the back, and we're bent over, and you can get pull-out shelving that actually pulls out and pulls up, or pulls out and comes down, so it comes right to your level. In this case, it's a pantry, so you can just pull it out and it's accessible. And then just easy things like cabinet pulls, instead of the knobs. Again, if somebody has arthritis, they can't grab that knob and open the cabinet. So if you put a pull in there where you can put your hands behind it and get to it, it's so easy. And then there's another cool thing on the right picture is a walk-in tub. A lot of people, we get a call a lot, can you take out my tub and put in a walk-in shower? We can do that, but something a lot more cost effective is there's an insert now where we just cut the tub, we cut a U out of it, we put the insert in. You can use the tub as a tub, or you can pull that, it's a plastic insert, you can pull that out and you can walk in the tub, and that just allows people to not have to walk over or lift their legs over the tub. So, any questions so far, or is that good? I only got a couple more, so. All right. Trying to make it quick. Visibility, I know, again, we talk about, we start losing our eyesight. I know a lot of us now, as we get older, we have to wear reading glasses and that kind of stuff, but people don't realize that we start losing our depth perception as well. And the trend nowadays is to rip out all the carpets and put in hardwood floors and that kind of stuff. But if your stairs are all one color, for somebody that doesn't have great depth perception, it's very hard to see where the steps are. So something that's very simple to do is to just paint the risers and change the color so they can actually see where the steps are. Same thing on your floors. If you have steps anywhere, change the color of it so they can see it. Task lighting is a great thing. Again, it's harder to see. A lot of the seniors end up cutting themselves because they can't see what they're doing. So task lighting is a perfect thing to put in places like the bathroom, the kitchen, where they're using sharp objects. And it, again, very simple to do, but makes a heck of a lot of difference. You can put in under counter lighting. And again, we're not talking a lot of money. You can put a hockey puck light in there that's just battery operated. You don't have to rewire the house to do this and allow the senior to be able to see. And something as simple. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
It looks so pretty too.
And again, and that's one of the things, the grab bars or the lights, you can make them look aesthetically pleasing. You don't have to put something in that looks like a hospital grab bar. They make a lot of grab bars that actually look like towel bars. They make grab bars that look like the toilet paper holders can be grab bars now. So, and like you said, the lights, you wouldn't know that that's just specifically because you need that spot lighting. You can make it look good. And the other picture that's always fun is just changing the color of the toilet seat. If you change the color of the toilet seat, again, it doesn't make it look terrible. It just makes it know that you can find the toilet seat when you're trying to find it, and you have, it's either darker or that kind of stuff. It's just find that depth perception, we start losing our depth perception. Changing that color of the toilet seat makes all the difference when you need it.
And when-
And I was gonna say, the only other thing I really had is safety. And this is some of the stuff that we don't think about, but again, going back to a lot of the slips and the falls happen because the floor, it gets wet. Like in our garage, there's something on it. When you drive your car in and it was raining, so the floor is wet. You can put non-skid flooring in the garage and make it easier. Garages, decks, walkways. There's a lot of different easy ways of making that flooring non-skid. Smoke detectors, we all have them in our house. Not a lot of us know that you can get them with strobe lighting and also vibrating. So you can put a pad under the bed that vibrates. So if somebody is sleeping, the pad will vibrate, so you know that there's an issue in the house. Anti-scalding valves. When we start losing our touch, we end up burning ourselves because we don't realize that that the water's too hot for us. So they actually make anti-scalding valves. A lot of the faucets nowadays come with them, but if you're living in an older home, it's just a matter of, in this case, we had to take a few tile out to put the scalding valve in, but you can just replace that so you're not burning yourself. And other things for safety are as simple as changing the stove. In this case, most of our stoves now have the controls on the back. That's great unless you have to lean over a hot stove and burn yourself. So if you put the controls on the front, you have less of a chance of burning yourself. So those are just some of the things. Other things that we do is, and we don't always think about, is raising a lot of the outlets. If you raise them up, standard is 12 inches off the ground. Well, for somebody that has a hard time bending, that's a long way down, and then you could fall. So if you move those electrical outlets up, to 18 inches, or you move the light switches down from 48 inches to 42 inches, so if you're in a wheelchair or a walker, you're not trying to reach and stretch. There's just a few things you can do to make it easier for people. I think that was it. Did I go quick?
No, you're great. The lowering outlets or raising light switches, I think that's amazing stuff.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
We have a question here from Jocelyn Hauser. Joe, do you help seniors pick out grab bars, or do they have to do that on their own and you help install?
We do either. So what we can do is, first of all, we'll look at the where we're putting the grab bars, and we can suggest things. So if you're in the in a bathroom and the fixtures are already chrome or brushed nickel or antique brass or whatever, we'll look at that first and make sure that those grab bars can match. A lot of the cases they want to buy their own grab bars, but the other thing is people don't really know what to look for, or how big that grab bar should be. So we will actually sit with the senior and have them go through those motions to see where that grab bar needs to be placed. In a residential home, there's no ADA requirements. The ADA requirements pertain to commercial buildings. So in a home, we will look at how tall the person is, where they reach. Again, there's a big difference between a 6'2" person and a 5'0" person. So we will look through all of that, but absolutely we'll take a look and see what makes sense. And again, the idea is to make it useful, but also make it pleasing to the eye, so it kind of blends in with whatever's in the home already.
Hey, Joe. So I think I heard you just mention a little bit, you will sit down with a client, or a senior about, the changes that need to be made. So will you do like a home safety assessment? I know that that's a question that I do get asked a lot working in home care.
Yes, absolutely. For aging in place, we will come out. We actually did that with a bunch of homes out in Heritage Hunt recently. We'll walk the senior through the process and just kind of look at what they do and what they need. We were actually in a house not too long ago, and they were talking about grab bars and all sorts of other stuff. And I actually watched the gentleman who was in a walker. He was struggling to get over the threshold in the bathroom. It was only probably about a ½ inch, but he couldn't get the walker over there. And that's something that they didn't realize that we could do, was to completely lower that threshold so he didn't have that challenge. So that's why for us, it's better for us to actually come in the house. Some people think they know what they need, but there's a lot of things that we can do to just make it easier on them. So yeah, we will come out there.
Awesome.
Hey, Joe, are we CAPS certified, and what does CAPS mean?
Yes, we are CAPS certified, and CAPS is Certified Aging in Place Specialist. I've been CAPS certified since 2015. So essentially what that means is you have to go through some classes, and then you have to take some refresher classes. And again, it just keeps you compliant with what all the standards are, and then what all the things out there are to be able to do some of this stuff for the homes.
Joe, this was some really great information for the team. Does anybody have any other questions?
I was going to say, and there's all sorts of resources. You guys probably know all the resources out there, but you can find, if you just Google aging in place, you can find all sorts of things about what to do and things to make it easier. The goal with aging in place is really to be able to make things easier. Again, I'm like everybody, we're all aging, and what we do now, we used to be able to do a lot easier, and now it's a little more difficult. So aging in place is just to make it easier. You guys know this, 90% of the seniors want to stay in their own homes. So how do we make it easier for them to do that? And especially for you guys that are in-home health providers, some of these things we can put in the homes to make it easier for the caretakers to assist the seniors in their homes, whether it's a grab bar for the homeowner, or it's a grab bar for the caregiver to be able to help them in and out of the tub, or help them bathe, or help them stand, or whatever it is. Those are some of the things that we can also help with. So
I guess I still had a question about, like, what, if we identified that someone was interested in having your help and making their home safer, like what sort of turnaround? I mean, of course, it's probably based on the extent of what needs to be, updated, but like, if, someone's coming out of a hospital or a rehab setting and maybe just needs more grab bars, or, I mean, how much time, is involved in planning? And I guess that's sort of my question.
most of these things can be done very quickly, depending on if we have to order any of the materials or not. We will typically get somebody out to the home in between one and 3 days. So if it's something quick, we will get it out as a handyman service. That if people have to wait more than 3 days, then they're going somewhere else. So we can get out there fairly quickly. A review of the home usually takes about an hour to 2 hours. And again, as long as we don't have to order things, we can get that scheduled very, very quickly. Yes, we do work with some of the local rehabilitation officers that are, I forget what they're actually called, you guys know them better, but that they release them to their home. We can try to they'll give us a list of stuff that that person needs in the home, and we can take care of it. So
Awesome.
Before we let you go, Joe, anybody have any questions?
make them easy.
Joe, you have a degree from the United States Naval Academy in aerospace engineering. They don't need to be easy. Okay.
Well, that was a while ago. So.
All right. I'm guessing no. Joe, thank you so much. I think this was great information. We had you scheduled to speak before the COVID, but I think this is even more helpful right now for the needs that our seniors have. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This has been fun. It's been a little challenging because I don't enjoy speaking, and staring at a screen is not always fun either. So, but thank you.
Sure. So, does anybody in the group have anything they'd like to share about their organization, events, any supports, anything at all? Now's the time. Here's the place.
Yeah, so probably the easiest thing to do there is just raise your hand, guys, and we'll bring you on. Doesn't look like hands are being raised.
I'm making all the mom faces at people like, come on.
Everybody's getting ready for their 10 o'clock Zoom meeting.
Yeah, right? All right. So thank you to Elizabeth, co-host, and to Steve for keeping this all together. And one last thing I jotted down. Anyone who does donate a gift card to the fundraising efforts will be recognized as donating a gift card the evening of the event. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet, but you will be recognized. So thank you all so very much for joining us this morning, and have an awesome day.
Thanks, Rach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.